Recording. All right, Jen.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys all joining us tonight. I know that a lot of you saw, well, it was awesome seeing all of you that were able to make it to New Orleans this past weekend for Summit. I don't know about you guys, but I am coming back. I'm exhausted because it's busy. You're hopping. It's always, there's a lot going on and a lot to take in and a lot of things that you want to do. But I've probably never felt so refreshingly exhausted. It's just incredible. And the thing is that when you're in the thick of it, it's not even a question of, well, I'm just going to skip this, or I'm too tired to go to this, or anything else. The energy is so incredible that you don't want to miss a thing. So I know that you guys, I'm hoping that you guys saw all the posts in Team Ignite and saw all the fun that we were having and everything else. And what I'm really hoping is that you guys saw all the amazing announcements. There's a lot of cool stuff coming out of that came out of Summit this year. Starting off with, they did some new clinical trials on Energize and Shakeology, and they found that Energize lasts a lot longer than they thought that it originally did, and it's giving you more sustained energy up to an hour into your workout, which is huge, not only for the amount of energy that you're getting from it for the 30-minute workouts that we're doing, but it's awesome for like the longer endurance workouts. So that translates well into just anybody that you know. I know that you guys know that Energize is endorsed or all the performance supplements except for Hydrate, because they're still using Gatorade in Ironman. But and the only reason I know this is because my husband's training for an Ironman right now. But that is huge for people who are endurance racers and who are training for marathons and things like that, because using our supplements is going to give them longer lasting energy into their workouts. I actually texted my husband in the middle of opening ceremonies and was like, hey, Energize is so good for your workouts. And he writes me back, he goes, does that mean you're going to share? And I was like, never mind, I take it back because I don't share my Energize. But so they did new clinical trials on Energize and Shakeology, and there's tons of stuff that you can find about that. They announced some new products. Tony Horton is coming out with a new workout. They're really, hopefully you saw Bridget's video today about the health starting at home, and they're really coming out and focusing on the fact that health should be a family-wide event. It's not something that you hide from your kids. It's something that you can do with your kids. So that is where Tony Horton's new workout is coming out. It's very family oriented. You need a buddy to do this workout. So it really looks awesome. That's coming out in November. And then they announced Daily Sunshine, and this stuff, I hope you guys who were at Summit had a chance to try Daily Sunshine. It is pediatrician approved. It's gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, and Bridget put up a whole slide about the differences between Daily Sunshine and Shakeology, but it's already been pediatrician approved because it's not all the superfoods and stuff like that. They were able to get approval for this, certified gluten-free, soy-free, dairy-free, all that stuff, because it's very different than Shakeology. It's not superfood based. It's more vitamin and nutrient based and simplified for kids. So make sure you guys are checking out all of that stuff. But so I wanted to make sure you guys see all the products and all the announcements. And that's one of the really cool things about Summit. But what you don't see from the slides and from the announcement with Carl and things like that, on the Beachbody side of stuff, that stuff is all awesome and it's amazing. And shopping at Core, and like I have my my Energize. Oh, you can't see because my camera's on that side. I have my Energize shirt on tonight. It says I only need Energize on days that end in Y, because those of you who know me who heard about my Energize addiction at Summit know that I use Energize every day. But there's so many cool Beachbody things that come out of Summit, and you guys can, there's tons of information in Ignition Control Room about all the products that were launched. But what I want you guys to understand tonight from this team call is why you need to be at Summit, okay? They announced that Summit is going to be in Indianapolis next year. One of the awesome things about it being in Indianapolis next year is that logistically, it really simplifies things. The stadium and the convention center in Indianapolis are right next to each other, and they're actually connected by tunnels. So we're going to be able to to get to and from the sessions and the workouts and things like that a lot easier because it's not going to involve shuttle service and stuff like that as much. So that's really cool. It's a huge city, one that I have never been to. And one of the really cool things about Beachbody is that it allows you the opportunity to travel to places that that you might never see. I've never been to Indianapolis. I've never really had a reason to go. So I'm super excited to check it out. And those things are all awesome, but something that you can only get from coming to Summit is the personal development and the team spirit and the team atmosphere that we are so blessed to be a part of by being on Team Ignite. And so there's some things that I wanted to share with you guys if I can figure out how to do this. So I think I can, okay, so I can do this. So can you see my camera roll right now? Can you see this? Julie, yes? No? Do you see it? No? So, no, that's not what I wanted. So can you see that? Anybody?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So this was one of the slides, and I think that this was from Darren Hardy's talk. Yes? Yes, I think. Okay. And so one of the things that they talked about, if you think of this is like a pendulum swinging. So like the blue ball thingy is a pendulum, and it can swing from one side to another. And one of the things that Darren talked about is that in every decision you make, including related to your Beachbody business, there are short-term and long-term objectives. And with this pendulum, it can swing just as far to the left, and the farther it swings to the left, to the pain, rejection, sadness, failure side, the farther it swings back to the right. And so one of the things that he talked about is that, and I'm going to go back to me now so you can see me, but one of the things that he talked about is the fact that this business is hard, okay? And if you don't tap into the amazing atmosphere of your team, you tend to feel like you're all alone in this, and that you fear failure, and that nobody else is going through the things that you want to have to do. And so what he talked about in his presentation, and I'm moving out of where my kids can hear me because they just can't not talk because they're kids. One of the things that he talked about in his presentation is that the harder you move to embrace the part of the part that's scary, the part that you don't want to do, the hard part, getting to Summit, saving the money, reaching out to people to invite them to this opportunity, to invite them to your challenge groups. The harder, or the more you shy away from those things, or the more that you think that you can't do them, the less the pendulum is going to swing to that side. And the less that it swings to the hard stuff, the less that it swings to the good stuff. So one of the things that we focused on a lot in Summit was getting over the fear of doing these things. And a lot of what we do is going to the general session and going to the breakout sessions is talking about why it's scary to do these things and how great the reward is when you do them anyway. And so there was one other thing that I wanted to share with you guys real quick. So I saved a whole bunch of these pictures. So this is one of them. So let's look at this one. So this one says, I must raise my ambitions and refuse to settle. And I don't know about you guys, but that really, and you can see that it's Darren Hardy because he's like half of him is in my slide. But that really resonated with me, because if we're focusing on, okay, I just want to hit Success Club. I just want to help 3 people. I just want to get 5 people in my challenge group. Those are great ambitions. And for a brand new coach, I totally 100% agree. But we have to keep changing those ambitions. We have to keep reevaluating. And because otherwise, once we start hitting those goals, we'll settle for them, and you won't keep growing, and you won't have the amazing opportunities of that. Okay. So then there was, how do I go back to this? Hold on. Go back to this. Then there was the next one that he had that was, I must leave each day with intention. Okay. And I really felt like that speaks to all of us as well on this team, because, when you forget that you're part of our amazing culture, that we're part of the team, part of Ignition Control Room, that you have your coach, but not only the coach that brought you into this opportunity, but the other coaches on this team, that you kind of can tend to feel like you're out on this island all by yourself, and that what your intentions are for the day don't have an impact, not only on your team, but on the people that you're helping. And it's really easy to get so short-sighted in what you have going on. I know that I get wrapped up in it all the time, where I'm just like, oh, you know what? It's okay if I don't invite anybody today. The people that need me, they'll still be there tomorrow. And it's okay if I don't get to it tomorrow because I have X, Y, and Z to do with my kids, or work is crazy, or I'm really tired, or whatever. If you don't get up every morning with the intentions of why you decided to become a part of this and how your story can impact others, it can get super lost in all the craziness of your day. So live each day with intention, I thought was really, really cool. And then the last one was, I must no longer feel rejection. And I really feel like one of the best parts of being at Summit was the discussion about how it's such a team atmosphere, and when we're all together, we can conquer absolutely anything. And that includes fearing rejection. So I know you guys saw Bridget's video today where she's like, I'm going to stop caring about what other people think. And I agree with her 110%. I know when I was first presented with this opportunity, I debated it for a good 2 or 3 days. And it wasn't because I didn't want Shakeology, or it wasn't because I didn't want to lose the weight, or because I didn't think it was a good idea or anything else. It was because I was petrified that people would judge me, and that they would think that that I was crazy, and that I was just trying to sell them on stuff, and that I didn't really care, and it was all about the money and all of those things. And when you're sitting at Summit, and we all sat together at Summit, we had team parties, we had team luncheons, we had, met for drinks. And even if you weren't drinking, because there were people there that were not drinking alcohol, and nobody was, that's perfectly fine. There were those of us, some of us did, some of us didn't, some of us did sometimes and didn't other times, and it doesn't really matter. The point is that when you get together, and when you're sitting in a room, when you're sitting in the Superdome in New Orleans, and there's 15, 20,000 other people with you, or when you're part of the super workout shutting down the whole entire street outside of New Orleans, you don't care about rejection. You don't care about what other people think, because there's 20,000 other people doing this with you. And that energy alone is absolutely incredible. And it is what you are missing out on when you're all alone on your island and not getting to Summit. And I totally get the financial contribution, the financial investment that Summit is. I totally get it.
Hey, Jen.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if maybe we could just have a couple of people that experienced their first Summit
Yeah.
to say, like, just 1 minute, like.
Go for it.
So Derek, do you want to share what it meant to you or how you felt about this past weekend? You're muted.
There we go. Okay. I'm unmuted.
Just real quick.
I can't give that much emotion because I'm low on sleep right now, but still recovering from Summit. But every hour of sleep that I didn't get was so worth it from this Summit. I mean, Heidi and I were getting up at 4 a.m. to go drive over to New Orleans and get our day started. And each moment was just so fulfilling, and I had a full heart after I left, and I was pumped up, and I have this energy that I absorbed from Summit, from the different coaches and the new people that I met from all over the country that, they just gave a new life, and I'm ready to take that with me, and I'm already seeing positive effects from post Summit, and I think Heidi can say the same. It's been a game changer, and it is worth every single penny. And
I posted in Ignition Control Room a couple of the messages I got, and Heidi was one that said it was one of the best experiences of her life. So that's how powerful it is.
It is. You got to go. I don't know if anybody remembers like the DVDs at the end where there was that one chick who was like, you got to get to Summit. Like after, you finished your P90X. Yeah, she's right. You got to get to Summit.
Sydney, how about you?
Get there, right?
What was that?
I said, and you don't know that till you get there.
Right.
Sydney, what about you? Here, I'll unmute you. There you go.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with him exactly. I think for me, being a size person, because to me, I was, the whole Beachbody name was a thing that that was my only initial obstacle of joining. Was I really thought, because I have a skinny girl hang up, so I really thought that I was going to be the fat girl there. And it validated what you guys are all saying, that every size, every gender, every demographic, everything is there.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like the fat girl. I was normal. I mean, there was every shape and size. And I think I kind of needed that affirmation that I'm not the heavy girl that's, all alone out there. And,
awesome.
Yeah, it was cool. And then like he was saying, I would have probably come home today and rested because, dude, we wore ourselves out. I mean, it was an average of 10 miles a day, but I got on the treadmill. I just did my mile. I jogged the whole thing, and I'm back to nutrition today. So, I mean, it's rededication.
Anyone else want to share real quick?
What about Heidi? Is she on, Derek?
She is on. Here, I'll unmute you. Go ahead, Heidi.
Thank you. I mean, y'all pretty much said it all. I think the thing that I took away from it most is, like Sydney said, we were on that escalator and I snapped a picture, and it was just, you had your overweight people, you had your super skinny people, super fit people, there were people in wheelchairs. And it's just, I think the thing that really touched me most was when we were in our workshops, and they said, how many people have lost 10 pounds? And they went all the way up, I think in our workshop, they went all the way up to 150 or 140. And it just really, as much as I've fallen off the wagon, it really kind of gave me hope to see I can do it. If these people can do it, then I can do it. I think that's the thing I really took away from it most.
Awesome. And that was a great post, a great share. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
The other thing so cool was that it's not one demographic. It's like you said, it's not one body type. It's not one anything. And it's not even one age group. Like you saw, like, you guys are there. Then there's like 60, 70-year-old people there that are walking around.
There was a woman who in my morning workout, I think it was on Friday with Autumn, she had her walker with her and she was still doing the workout.
That's awesome. Hannah, how about you?
Okay. I thought it was awesome. It was like just the energy gets to you and makes you so excited, and it just made me feel like I could do anything with this. Like
And you can.
when they were on stage sharing, like everybody that shared started out at the bottom, and they started, in a hard place, and they didn't have anything going for them, and they just worked through it, and they got success because they were willing to work hard. And I don't know, it just makes me feel like if all of those people can do it, then I can do it, and I'm not alone. There's so many other people that are trying to do this also, and so I don't know, it's just awesome for me.
I'm so glad that you guys, especially, once you've been there, you don't want to ever miss another one. But getting to that first one is sometimes hard because, like Jen was saying, it's a financial investment, a time investment, and
investment, a family investment.
But and you can't really explain to somebody who hasn't been there and give it justice until you've been there. So, anyways, I'm proud of all of y'all who went for your first time this year. I know we'll see you again next year, and it'll be exciting to see how all of our businesses have grown from this point until next year. So
Tickets for Summit are on sale now for $145. That price is valid through July 23rd at midnight Pacific time. So you have like 5 days to get it. We're already starting to prep for Summit next year, which I know is crazy, but trust me, you will want to be a part of this energy. And that's why we start prepping for it now, because we don't want to lose the momentum coming out of it. I think one of the really cool things was too that Hannah touched on is the incredible stories. And it just provides so much perspective for the days when you're like, I don't feel like doing this. There were people there, almost every single one of them talked about how it changed their relationships, their marriages, their friendships, their relationships with their kids, their relationships with themselves for the better. So many of them have overcome struggles that just are amazing. I don't know. I know in our workshop, I don't know if they did this in our workshop, but in our workshop, they had all of the husbands. They had like Becky Brissett and Julie, you know who else was up there? Megan Smith, or was it Megan Smith?
Eggleston.
Yeah. And they asked they opened it up to a Q&A, and one of the people from the audience was like, was your husband completely supportive of you from the very beginning? And they brought the husbands up there, and the husbands were kind of like, yeah, like I didn't know exactly what we were getting into, but I supported her because this was something that was important to her, and it has changed. Every single husband sat there and said, my spouse changed our marriage, changed our relationship, changed herself, had so much effect on people for the better. It was incredible. I don't think I've cried that much in one weekend for good reasons in a long time. It was just so moving. It was incredible. It was by far, and this is my fourth summit. 1, 2, 3, 4. This was by far my favorite summit ever. And it has so much to do with connecting with the team and the energy there. And it might
have been my favorite summit too, even though it was like so huge, but there was just something special about it. And I really loved it. And I felt like everybody was just so nice and warm and honest and real. And it was really great.
Can I share something, Julie?
Yeah, please.
So we were waiting outside of a restaurant on Friday night, and there were 2 girls also waiting outside. I knew they were coaches because they had
Wristbands.
stuff on. And we got to talk, we were talking about Super Saturday, and they were like, I don't know if we're going to go because, physically, I don't know if we can do it. And I'm like, me being me, I'm like, you have to go. Even if you don't work out, you need to be there. You need to see this. You need to feel this energy. And they're like, okay, well, we'll think about it and whatever. So the next day, after it was all over and we're walking back to our hotel, Jen says, oh, I love that girl's hair. And I look up, and in a sea of 20 to 25,000 people, there were these two girls, Carly and Josefa, in front of me. And I ran badly at all and caught up to them. They screamed, and I screamed, and we hugged. And it was like, and now I have 2 new friends on Facebook.
That's cool.
And they both said to me, thank you so much for encouraging us to come. We couldn't do all of it, but we are so glad that we made it. And I have been doing nothing but crying for the last couple of days because I emotionally, this one changed me. I'll be honest with you. Last year was my first one. I didn't come home from it with a good feeling. I really didn't. I just recently shared that with June. I didn't share it with anybody. But this one, you all will see me walk across that stage next year.
Oh, girl. Love it.
I think it really did a lot to foster the sense of community. I had to put my Hannah, my daughter, who some of you met, was with us, and I stayed true, Julie. I did not miss one single thing, despite the fact that my family was there, and it was a business trip, you guys. I'm telling you right now, you got to plug into the events. The live events are totally worth it. But don't bring your family, don't bring your kids, because it is not a vacation. And Julie tried to warn me that a long time ago, and I finally get it. But I had to put Hannah on a plane this morning to fly to Florida. And so cool, because it's 5:30 in the morning, and here's my little 13-year-old girl flying to Florida by herself. And who was in front of her but a whole bunch of Beachbody coaches. And I'm like, hey guys, you guys are coaches. This is my little girl flying to Florida with you. And within 5 minutes of getting on the plane, Hannah texts me and she goes, Mom, I'm so glad you're a Beachbody coach. They're being so nice to me, and I made 5 new friends to fly to Florida with.
That's so cool.
And that's part of, like Leanne said, I made friends and saw so many people this trip that, like, it's just incredible. And it's not about competing. It's not about being, your team, my team, this team, that team. It is about the fact that all of us are there feeding off this energy and just super excited about what we're all a part of. And it's just incredible. So you guys have 5 days. I don't know what the price goes up to. I don't care. Like, I'm trying to, I will figure it out. I will be at Summit. I will buy my ticket. I haven't bought it yet. I apologize, but I did book my hotel room, but I haven't bought my ticket yet, but I will buy it and I will be there and I will not miss it. And I really encourage you guys to be there with us. I know there's a whole bunch of people on the call. Raise your hands if you've already bought your Summit ticket.
I already started a Summit group for those that have bought their tickets. And so that link is in Ignition Control Room. When you buy your ticket, join that group because we're gonna keep it tight and we're gonna plan some fun things for the team next year. And I want to know who else is going to be there. And just FYI, I'm staying at JW Marriott. I've heard from a lot of people, Julie Boris, who lives there, that's probably the most convenient, nicest hotel connected to the convention center. But there are nice hotels all around. Many of them are connected to the convention center. So it should be very easy to maneuver next year. So anyways, but do make sure that you're staying on top of when you can, because I looked at JW Marriott independently this morning before the Beachbody link came out to elite coaches and all-stars and whoever else could register today. And it was like $330 a night and then, or more. And then the Beachbody block rate was like $230. So splitting that between 2 or 4 people, you can make it very affordable depending on what you need. And I have done the 4 people to a room before. So if that's what you got to do, do it. It's worth it.
Hey, can I say something really quick?
Yep.
No.
I'm gonna put a little tease out there. I know we're talking a lot about the expense of Summit, and so tomorrow I will post a video that's going to show you how you can pay for Summit by the end of this year without any problem.
Yes.
So y'all be looking for that. I ran some numbers, and I'm going to show you how you can make.
Thank God. You're good.
Bridget's good with the numbers.
I'm not good at that.
She's really good at it. Engineer, smarty pants. Yeah, she's immensely smart for those that don't know. But anyways, y'all be sure to be on the call next Monday. We're going to make some major changes within the team, and so we're going to announce some things next Monday, so be sure you're there. The leaders are going to be getting together this week to discuss some things. Our heads are all still swimming from ideas and exciting things that we want to do for you guys. So we're working through it, and next Monday, be sure to be on and to hear about it.
And
on Wednesday. Sorry.
One last thing before we go, 10 o'clock. I strongly encourage you guys to reach out to your coaches, both above you and below you, and plug in. Talk to them right now. Even if you reach out to, I know some of my coaches, I've reached out to them and said, hey, I'd love to get you to Summit. I want to help you where you are. Not, just reach out to them, share your excitement, share your energy with them. Make sure you're connecting both up and down, because this is a great time to set intentions for the second half of the year, and don't let anybody go untouched. It's just such a great time of year to get people re-engaged in everything. So make sure you're reaching out to everybody.
Yep, and be sure you're on the Surge on Wednesday night. Jessica Nelson will be on there, and I'm sure she's going to be amazing as always. So plan for that, and then I guess that's it. Anything else, Jen?
No, I'm good.
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much for hosting us tonight, Jen. Appreciate it, even though you haven't had much sleep. Bridget, did you have something? No? Okay. Good night, everybody. Love you guys. It was so fun seeing you, and want to see you all next year.
Good night.
Bye.